Here's a fascinating idea. What if the diversity of our modern communities is not just a social phenomenon, but something that can be traced back to a physical law of nature? We're talking about the second law of thermodynamics. First, let's get a quick refresher on what the second law of thermodynamics is. Simply put, it states that in a closed system, entropy, or the measure of disorder, will always increase over time. Think of it like this. If you have a box of gas particles, they won't stay clumped in one corner. Over time, they'll spread out, filling the entire box evenly. Here's an easy way to picture it. If I have a jar of marbles sorted by color and shake it up, the marbles will get mixed together. That's entropy in action. The system moves from a neat, orderly state to a more disordered one. And here's the key. This process happens naturally. Systems naturally evolve towards states of higher entropy unless some external force acts to maintain order. Entropy isn't just about chaos or messiness. It's about balance. Imagine you have a hot cup of coffee sitting in a cold room. Over time, the heat from the coffee will spread out into the air, and eventually everything will reach the same temperature. This process is called equilibrium, and it's nature's way of evening things out. And here's what's amazing. This principle applies to everything in the universe, from the particles in a gas, to the way energy spreads out in a star, to the expansion of the cosmos itself. The second law of thermodynamics is largely responsible for the decay of every living organism on this planet, and it is a fundamental law of the universe. Now, here's where it gets interesting. While the second law of thermodynamics is a law of physics, which implies that any system will tend to move toward disorder over time, in terms of human behavior that is connected to societies and the relationships among its members, we can begin to understand how human systems evolve. Just like gas particles spread out to fill a space, humans move, interact, and connect, creating more complex and diverse societies over time. Think about it. In the early days of human history, we lived in isolated groups, like particles clustered in a corner of a box. But as people migrated, traded, and interacted, those clusters broke apart, and humans spread across the globe, mixing and colliding just like particles in a system. So what does this mean for us? As we saw, entropy is a broad term and can be applied on many dynamic systems in our world today. Social constructs like gender, race, and class are in many ways dynamic systems. Over time, these systems will always move toward their lower potential to find equilibrium. By evolving rigid definitions and shifting boundaries, these systems tend to eventually dissolve, as nature will always find a way to seek balance. By understanding diversity as a natural process, we can celebrate it, nurture it, and continue building communities that reflect the best of what humanity can be. Just like in physics, progress is inevitable but can be interpreted as chaos sometimes. Over time, however, the trend is clear. Societies will always seek to even out the differences in potential which exist among different individuals who belong to that society to reach the point of zero difference. It's the moment where the voltage gap in the world will have ceased and current will subsequently stop. Everyone by that time will be carrying the same hopes and dreams within them, as this is the way nature has ordained it to be.